Ron and Henry are my two best friends. At one time, Ron and Henry did not have any friends, and people were often very mean to them. Ron handled it a lot differently than Henry did. Ron would isolate himself and avoid people at all costs. He was lonely, and some people might even say depressed. Henry, on the other hand, was scared. People who were mean to him or called him names frightened him, so he would lash out and even protect himself if need be. He got into a lot of fights, and after years of mistreatment, he ended up being put in jail. Ron was living on the streets at the time. He was picked up by the police, and he was also put into jail. And this is where I met my two best friends. The point of my story is to get you to open your minds and even your hearts, and maybe one day you can do some good in the world by changing a life and possibly making a new best friend. So Ron and Henry are my dogs, and their jail was Animal Friends Rescue League. Most times when people decide to get a pet, they would pass on a dog like Henry or like Ron and would buy directly from a breeder or even a puppy mill. I'm going to tell you why that would be a bad decision and why adopting from a shelter such as Animal Friends would be the best decision you could ever make. The number one reason to adopt a pet is to save a life. Ron was originally placed in a high kill shelter. He was picked up as a stray off the streets and was scheduled to be euthanized only 2 weeks before Animal Friends was able to find enough space in their facility to rescue him. Many non-kill shelters are fully occupied and cannot accept any other animals. In the US alone, 1.5 million animals are euthanized each year. Henry, on the other hand, was rescued by Animal Friends from a hoarding and a neglect situation. He was found with 4 other dogs and 7 cats. Henry was tied up for so long outside that his collar was embedded into his neck and it had to be surgically removed. He suffered from mange, which is a skin disease caused by mites, and most of his teeth were ground down to nubs from trying to chew his way out of the chain. People have many reasons why they don't want to adopt a dog and why they would like to buy. Some say they want a puppy or a purebred, but the thing is that shelters get a wide variety of animals all the time. Shelters often get litters of puppies and purebred animals, and they have an online system set up for people who want to adopt but are looking for a specific breed or specific age. Ron is a purebred black and tan coonhound. Although I wasn't specifically looking for a breed or even a purebred, my only requirement was that I wanted a dog I could run with. Most shelters have a very qualified adoption counselor to pair people up with a dog that fits their lifestyle and fits their family. Not only does Ron run with me, but he's helped me and my sister train for the full and half marathon. He's an avid runner. He runs 3 miles 3 to 5 times a day or a week, and he has completed a half marathon himself. Every year he goes to support and cheer on his fellow runners during the Pittsburgh Marathon. Having a pet can be very expensive, especially if you're buying from a breeder. The cost of spaying and neutering and all of the shots adds up. The advantage of adopting from a shelter like Animal Friends is they spay and neuter all of their animals, they update all of their shots, and they take care of all their medical issues before adopting them out. There are many people who would provide a wonderful home to a pet, but they can't exactly afford the cost to properly care for the pet. These shelters offer services and programs to help people cover the medical costs of their pet, and they even offer classes to help train them. Henry had a lot of medical issues when he first arrived to Animal Friends. They were able to care for his teeth, they cleared up his skin condition, And now he's healthy and happy, and he only requires a daily vitamin to help with his arthritis. Ron and Henry are two dogs that have had a completely different outcome if someone wasn't willing to give them a chance. Not only have they become best friends with each other, but they're my best friends too. So, if you're ever considering buying a pet, just remember there's an animal waiting in a shelter for you, waiting for someone like you to let them out of jail and give them a second chance at life.